Hello, welcome. This is Jerry Dukoski. Welcome to the Restaurant Sales Funnel. Yeah, give it a hands. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, everyone's excited. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is a restaurant sales funnel? Or what a restaurant sales funnel is simply an automated system where you can generate new customers for your restaurant and then convert them into loyal fans. That's what it's all about, automation and just getting that flow of new customers and converting them into your raving fans, because that's where the profit is. Your profit is at the back end of the funnel. So once you understand that you are making money at the back end of the funnel, then you can spend more money at the top of the funnel to get new customers. All right. If you don't have the back end of the funnel, you will always lose money. If you have a system in place, then you can spend more money getting new customers, knowing that the customer value or lifetime value is X amount of dollars, and you will make a profit. That's how it all works. And today we're going to talk about a very interesting subject, which is very close to my heart, and that is when you should not be marketing. Okay, that hurts for a marketer to say that, yes, there are times when you should not be marketing at all. Well, actually, there's probably two times. One is when your restaurant's absolutely full. You cannot fit another customer into your restaurant. You're booked out for months and months ahead. And just marketing will just be wasting more money because you just can't take anyone else, all right? So it's the time to probably open another restaurant. But, fortunately, this is not a problem that a lot of restaurants have. And they certainly don't call me when they have this problem. So let's put that aside for a moment and let's focus on really, the main reason why you don't want to market your restaurant. And that is there may be some problems with your restaurant, and marketing is not a good idea if you have a problem with your restaurant. So let's just go here. Let me just have a look at my slideshow here. Okay, so before we start marketing, we need to know where we are now. All right, so if you want to start spending money to get new customers and get that flow effect so that they go through your system and then you've got some loyal fans there that are going to keep coming back, you need to know how the restaurant is really going. Now, obviously, the best way of doing that is walking around and talking to your customers as they're dining in your restaurant. Right, that's the best time to talk to them and make them feel, make them feel welcome, and just ask for their feedback. Are they having any problems? All right, are you having a lot of problems in the kitchen? Are people complaining about the food? Are people returning the food? Are people saying, hey, we've been here for an hour, we still haven't been served yet, or the staff are rude, or whatever it is? If you start getting these messages quite a bit on your restaurant, you've obviously got a problem. There's no doubt about it, you've got a problem, and you can't hide it under a rock and hopefully that it'll resolve itself. You've got to take action, firm action, to fix the problem. Work out what the problem is and fix it straight away. Now, a good way of doing that is through, as I said, talking to customers while they're still in the restaurant. The other one, of course, is looking at your reviews. If you're getting bad reviews, you're getting 1-star or 2-star reviews and complaints, you've got a real problem and you need to solve that problem. You don't want to spend money marketing. If you're in an empty restaurant, no one's there because, the poor service, the poor food they've been getting, the poor reputation is getting around there. Don't spend your money on marketing. That's the last thing you want to do. You're going to go broke sooner because you'll be letting more people know what a bad restaurant you have. That is not the solution. You need to fix the problem. And I'm going to show you today exactly how to find out exactly what the problem is, how to solve it, move forward, and get your restaurant back on track so then you can start marketing again, Rich. Okay, so let's have a look here. So where are you sending your new customers to? All right, so you're paying traffic, you're paying to get those customers to your restaurant, but what does your restaurant look like? Is it burning on fire? And that's a bad thing, by the way. You don't want to be burning on fire, because when you spend money getting your customers to visit to your restaurant and it's on fire, It's going to be very smoky. It's going to be very hot. It's going to be very uncomfortable, at least to say that. And the customers aren't going to enjoy the experience in your restaurant. And the worst thing is when they leave, they'll tell all their friends what a terrible experience they've had. They'll never return again, and therefore you'll lose out on obviously getting them back again, and you'll lose on all the people they're telling how bad your restaurant is. They'll leave bad reviews. This is bad. This is bad. Bad, bad. Right? No good news there whatsoever. So do not send customers to a restaurant that's on fire. Okay, what you need to do is fix a problem so that you have a beautiful restaurant. You can bring people there, let them have a beautiful experience, let them rave it to their friends and family, let them recommend it to everyone, get great reviews. That's when you want to spend money on marketing. Okay, so what we do is we can set up a Net Promoter Score. This is simply a survey, and it's one that I'm sure you're familiar with. It's very easy to set up for your restaurant. It gets you quick results. You quickly find out what the problem is, and you can solve the problem. And that's the main part of this, what this video is all about. It's about solving the problem so that when we can bring in new customers in and really promote your restaurant through our marketing. Okay, so I'm sure you're familiar. There's just 2 questions in the Net Promoter Score. The first question is, how likely is it that you would recommend our restaurant to a friend or colleague? That's the first question. And they'll be able to answer 0 to 10, all right? Now, 0 means not likely at all, or if they select 10, it's extremely likely. So let them score 0 to 10 on how likely it is they'll recommend your restaurant to a friend or colleague. The second question is, what is the reason for your rating? All right, so if they're rating at 0, it means they've had poor food, poor service, poor everything. They hate your restaurant. Simple as that. If they go the other extreme and say they give you a 10, then they've had a great time. Everything's perfect, right? Don't change a thing. All right, so they're the 2 extremes, but you're going to be asking them to give you a rating from 0 to 10, how likely they'll recommend your restaurant to a friend or colleague. And the second part is, what is the reason for your rating? Because we really want to know what it is that you need to fix to get those higher scores. Now, I wrote here a little script, you might say, for your serving staffs to read it out to your customers, or you can just have this written down and put that on their table and say, look, would you mind filling in this survey? So the little script I've written is this. We would like to ask you for your help. Okay? So when you ask people for your help, they're more likely to help you. All right? Don't throw a survey in their face and say, fill this in, please. All right? Ask them for their help. Why do you need help? Well, the second part of the script is by providing us with your honest feedback. All right? We don't want them to lie. We don't want them to make us feel good by saying, yeah, great restaurant, thanks very much, see you later, and they never come back again. All right? You want their honest feedback. So you have to ask for their honest feedback. Why? So that we can continue to improve our service. All right? So that's all it is. We want to improve our service. And the implications are that if we improve our service, you'll get a better service and you'll enjoy coming to our restaurant again in the future. All right? So it helps everyone. Now, what do they have to do? Well, when you answer 2 questions, again, we tell them it's only 2 questions. A lot of people, when they hear survey, they think, oh, I don't want to answer 50 questions. So just let them know that it's only 2 questions, right? Nice and easy. The last bit there is, please place the survey into the secure box. Thank you. So you're going to ask them to put the survey directly in a secure box, and that way you're more likely going to get honest answers, right? If you think that your waiting staff are going to have a look at it and then they know that you've written this terrible stuff about them, well, that's not a good thing. But if you know that you can just put that survey, put it into a secure box, no one will know that what you've written there, you're more likely to get your honest feedback. And that's what you want. You really want honest feedback so you can solve those problems and really, grow your business, right? Okay, so let's look at how the actual score works. So as I said, you can go 0 to 10. Now, if you choose anything from 0 to 6, all right, it doesn't matter whether it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you choose any of those numbers there, you are known as a detractor. Detractor, that's what you are. That's not a good thing. You don't want detractors, but that's, if they put 0 to 6, they are a detractor. Not a good thing. All right, now if they put 7 or 8, they're a passive. Right? They're not a detractor, they're just a passive. All right, passive aren't very useful for you either. And lastly, if they select 9 or a 10, then they're a promoter. Yes, that is a good thing. You want more promoters. All right, so promoters are a good thing. And a promoter is someone who scores 9 or 10. Now, promoter just means they're going to tell other people about your restaurant how good it is. Detractors, from 0 to 6 are going to tell other people what a bad restaurant experience they've had. All right, so more people who don't enjoy the experience, more of those people will tell more other people, right? And if it's 7 or 8, well, they're not going to rave it to other people. They're not going to say it's bad. They're going to say it's good. They're just going to say, hey, we went to that restaurant last night. Yeah, it's okay. That's it. They're not going to convince anyone to go to that restaurant. Okay, so they're passive. So you want promoters. So this is how it works, right? So anyone who, anyone who scores a promoter, we work out the percentage minus the percentage of detractors. All right. So, for example, let's make it very, very nice and easy. Say you had 100 people complete your Net Promoter Survey score, and say, let's say that 50 of the 100 people scored a 9 or 10. So you got 50% promoters. All right. Out of the 100, 50 of those, which is 50%, scored 9 or 10, so they're promoters. So you've got 50% of the surveys are promoters. Okay. Then you had, let's say you had, say 10 people. 10 people out of the 100 scored 7 to 8, so they're passives. So we're not going to worry about passives. That's 10%. Let's say the other 40% or the other 40 people scored between 0 and 6. That means 40% are detractors, 50% are promoters. So this is how it works here. So basically, you've got 50% promoters minus 10%, 40% detractors, leaves you with 10%. Those 10% a good score? Let's have a look. Now, the lowest possible score is obviously minus 100. That is if everyone is a detractor. The highest possible score is obviously a plus 100. That is everyone's a promoter. Now, any score above 0 is a good score. All right. So if you get 10%, that's a good score because you're over 0. Now, anything over 50 is excellent score, and if you've got anything over 70, then you're world class. We should be looking at your restaurant because that is a world class restaurant, and we need to spread the word around on how you actually do that. So well done if you get 70 plus. And obviously they tell you, why they scored it that way, and you need to solve that problem. And when you do solve that problem, guess what? This is what happens. Yes, you have people who will line up for your restaurant, and that's what it's all about. All right, you don't want to promote or market your restaurant when you have problems, but when you solve those problems and open those doors, get people in, drive them in there, you can spend money getting customers in there because they'll have a great experience and they'll come back again and become raving fans of yours, and that is where you make your profit. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. It's just an absolutely essential thing you do before you start spending money on a big campaign, is just to make sure that everything is working well in your restaurant. I mean, that sort of makes sense. I mean, it's just pure logic, but, the amount of times that I've seen campaigns where, the restaurant owner, poor old restaurant owner, is really struggling to get customers in there, and they're thinking, well, I need to spend more money on maybe on Groupon or something just to get people in the door. But if they've got a problem there, you're just wasting your money and you're going to go broke really quick. So, find out what the problems are, solve those problems. Once you solve those problems, by all means, get in there and spend money on marketing and drive customers into your restaurant. Okay, I hope you really enjoyed that. We'll be back again next week with another episode of Restaurant Sales Funnel. Until then, this is Jerry Tarkowski saying bye for now.